Cherry Pearls episode 37. Yep. Someday I'm going to remember what episode number we're on the first try. I'm Robin.
I'm Mary.
You can find me as Teeny Button on Instagram and Ravelry, and you can find my Etsy shop, Teeny Button Studio, where I sell hand-dyed yarn and stitch markers.
I am Snippin' Full on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I am My Angry Orange Cat.
We are a mother and daughter podcast, as usual, coming to you from outside New Orleans, Louisiana. And we have a podcast group if you would like to see our show notes for this episode, as well as the chatter and finished objects threads for our cow. That is Cherry Pearls Podcast on Ravelry. You can just search it in the groups tab, or I will link it as usual down below. So we do have a knit-along going on, which we'll give you the lowdown about right now.
We started a knit-along on November 1st with Candace of the Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast. It is the Socks and Space Cow. It will run from November 1st, and it will end at the end of this month. There's still plenty of time to get in if you are a fast knitter. Even if you're not, you are welcome to join in on the chatter thread because we will be choosing prizes from that thread as well. The rules are that you have to knit something that goes on your feet, so either socks or slippers. And the project needs to be related to space in some way, either by pattern or colorway. Whips are included. As long as you are not 50% completed by the beginning of the cow on November 1st. And it doesn't matter if they could be baby socks, adult socks, it doesn't really matter. So the amount of yarn used in the project doesn't matter. We will be choosing prizes from the finished objects thread as well as the chatter thread. And you do need to be a member of the podcast group to win a prize. Double dipping is allowed.
Encouraged.
And
sure.
Yes, definitely encouraged. Yeah. So go on over to Candace's podcast group and join in on hers as well so that you have a better or greater chance of winning a prize.
Yeah. So that is going to end at the end of this month, so we'll lock the thread
January
1st. Yeah, so get them in. So
if you have any questions, the rules are in the both the thread or chatter thread and finished objects thread.
And I finally put a picture of the prizes up, so if you want to go check out what prizes are up for grabs, there's pictures in both the chatter and the finished objects
There
thread.
is one more prize that's not pictured. I still have to do stitch markers. Yeah. There are some stitch markers that will be included, and I just got the charms in, so I'll work on those today, and Robin will, or one of us will include a picture of those as well.
Yep. So I think that's all we have for administrative stuff. I'm racking my brain. I think that's it. Yeah, the Sucre code is still going on. I'm not going to mention it here. If you want to take a look, it's going to be in the show notes or in any previous episode. So that's what's going on. And we have, between the two of us, we have one finished object this week. So
yeah,
that's you.
That is me. And as usual, I don't have them with me. Can you hold on a sec?
Yes. See you in a minute, guys. And we're back. Seamless.
Totally forgot to bring them over. So these are the fingerless mitts I was working on last couple of weeks. It's a design project.
Last week you just had the thumbs to do, right?
Yes. So I finished those. It's a design project that I'm working on. They fit okay, but some people felt they were a little tight. They fit me fine. I was happy with the fit. But I am going to increase the stitch count, and I'm reworking them again to see if that's a more comfortable fit. So,
yeah, they're a little snug on me, but I think they'll loosen up with wear.
Yeah, see, they're fine for me. So, anyway.
See, for me, the thumb stitches are pretty tight.
See, and they're fine for me. So, So, anyway, I'm reworking those, and you'll see those coming up in a few minutes in Works in Progress. But this is my one finished object for the week.
Woo! What's the yarn?
Oh, I'm sorry. The yarn is Patton's Croy Socks Stripe in Meadow Stripes.
There you go.
Thank you.
Are those going to be for you, or you have a in the gift pile?
I'll just put them in the gift pile for now. I do love that yarn color, so I may end up keeping them. It just depends.
Do you have enough left to do another pair? Or like shorty socks?
Maybe shorty socks. No, I don't even think I have enough for shorty socks.
What if you did heels and toes?
Yeah, if I did heels and toes, I would. Because they take a little over 50 grams. I think they measured out to be 54 grams. And my shorty socks are about that, too. So, anyway.
Maybe I'll dye up a color to match, and we can let you give it to you and let you do heels and toes
Yeah.
and socks.
We'll figure it out.
Because it's so pretty.
It is. It's a lovely yarn. Like I had mentioned in the past, I saw Susan B. Anderson knitting a pair of socks in this colorway, and I'm like, okay, need it. So I went and found it, who had it, and bought it. The Michaels carries Patton's Croy, but they
not that color,
not this
for
colorway.
sure.
So I had to go order it online. All right. So what do you have?
I have 2 hose this week, which is pretty exciting. I like having things half done. So I wanted to finish both of these socks by the end of the year. That's my goal, because this is my Socks in Space Cow sock, and then the other sock is my Christmas sock. So I have both of the second socks started. So finishing 2 pairs of socks in
a short period of time.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. I think I have time to finish.
I think so.
Yeah, but this is my Speckled Space sock. Y'all have seen it before if you're a watcher of the podcast.
And I love that colorway.
It's beautiful. This is Lammy Toes Moon Pie Merino, I think is the base, and the colorway is Changeling.
I'm a big fan of like aqua or teal and lime green.
Yeah. So this is the Speckled Space sock by Amanda Stevens. Hope I'm not wrong. Yeah, Amanda Stevens. It's a free pattern.
A lot of people are knitting that one.
Yeah,
and everyone's gorgeous.
It's beautiful, and it's free, which is astounding because like the amount, like there's like
a lot of work went into
8 different charts and like all this. It's amazing. So I would recommend if you haven't knit it yet. If you're a beginning cable knitter, I think it's a good pattern for a beginning cable knitter because the only real cables are like the shaping bits, like the swoop that goes up. That's the only real cable. But anyway, this is Lammy Toes Moon Pie Merino. I knit the 72 stitch size just because I know the cables will pull the sock in a little bit. You know, I like my socks looser. So I did the pattern as directed. I think there's yarn overs on the toe. I didn't do those. I just did like a normal toe. Just a normal wedge toe. And then I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. There we go. Fish Lips Kiss heel.
Your preferred heel.
The only heel I almost ever do, except for afterthoughts, but those are occasionally because I don't care for afterthoughts. But, so there's my first sock. And then I'll use a sock blocker in a minute. I have the second sock here. Here's the yarn and the cake. That side's better. So, Lammy Toes. And I have blue on my hand.
Dye on your hand?
I haven't dyed anything this morning. I've just been soaking yarn, so I don't know where that came from. But this is my second sock. So I just almost done with the first repeat. I did 4 repeats of the pattern on this sock. So it's a good way to gauge how far I have to go. So I'm about right here. I mean, I guess you could tell that from what I have, but you know, whatever. So that's my first sock. These are knit on size US 1 2.25 millimeter carbons, which I think are my favorite sock needles right now. I have some Hiya Sharps. They're in a project and they hurt my fingers. They're too sharp. So
I think it's the way you push the yarn off the needle.
Yeah, I think it's because I was getting a hole that was making my finger bleed. So I think I like the carbons the best right now. I tried the Knit Picks ones, but they're all right.
You like them sharper than that.
Yeah, I like the carbons. So that's my first hoe.
Okay.
You got something to show?
Yeah. As mentioned before, I am redoing the mitts that I just showed as finished objects. So I've added a couple of stitches to it, and I'm reworking them. So as usual, I usually try to knit 2 at a time.
You're a little tangled there.
Yeah. So these are the mitts that I've started. I'm getting ready. I've already started the pattern on both, actually. But I'm a little bit further along than on this one. And so this is, make this look a little bit nicer.
Boob.
There we go.
Have you heard that before?
No.
I was reading some old Stephanie Pearl McPhee's, and she was talking about how whenever your ball winder starts to go, you get a yarn boob, like a boob shape. That's what this is, right?
Oh, I had no idea that's what that was.
Yeah. Did you wind that on the old winder or the new one?
I don't know, but I usually just kind of push it in
Yeah.
like that, and then it's
Don't check the table.
it's not so bad.
It's not so
But
booby.
anyway, this is Jinx yarn in her strong sock base in the color Gur.
Grr, from Invader Zim.
This is from Invader Zim, and this is I'm going to enter this in Candace's second cow that she's doing, and it's a what is it?
Animake Along.
Animake Along.
Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls and Kemper of Junk Yarns.
Yeah. So
or Junk Yarn. Yeah.
Anyway, this is my first work in progress.
I really want to do a project for that, but I don't have any yarn in my stash, so I'm thinking about doing a new colorway. And I think I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure if it would count. So I'm gonna send Candace a message and see what she thinks before I start dyeing it up.
It's not a color you would want to dye anyway?
It is, but I want to make sure it counts before I dye myself a skein. Because I'm thinking it might be in a mini set.
Oh, okay.
It's not one that I've mentioned to you, but we'll talk later.
That's cool.
I have some ideas.
All right.
So I have a second hoe. This one, the first one was living in my little skein in the big wool bag, but I didn't show it because it's not in here. But this one is my Christmas socks. They are in my Christmas bag from Suburban Stitcher. Is that upside down? Yes. Suburban Stitcher. There we go. It's a peppermint mocha bag. And, oh, look, my pen. We got these pens in. We didn't show them. It's Facto Ergo Sum. I make, therefore I am. I think Candace showed this. We're talking about Candace a lot today.
Well, we saw it on her podcast, and I'm like, I really want that pen.
Yeah, I've been buying so many pens lately. It's all her fault. So this, the pen. I actually have the pen thing in here. I'll show y'all where we got it. This is from Shiny Apple Studio. Do they have an Etsy, I think?
Yes.
So that's where it's from. That's where I got it. So I have my first sock.
So here's the yarn and the cake. Isn't that beautiful?
Thank you. This is my Colina socks. The pattern is by Jen Emerson. Ooh, hang on a sec. Jen Emerson is the pattern designer. Pattern is Colina. This yarn is my own yarn. It is Smashed Ornaments, which is one of my Christmas colorways for this year. And I'll probably bring it back next year. I'm probably not going to have exclusive colorways every year. But look at that. Oh, the ribbing makes it pull in so nice on the blocker. I love it. I love this pattern. So this is the first sock. And the ribbing is really interesting. You can't really, it's kind of hard to tell, it's a cat here, where the ribbing starts. I guess you can, but it's really, it didn't even occur to me to do the ribbing like that.
That's cool.
But, you just continue with the pattern. It's a pay pattern, so I'm not going to say. But you just continue the pattern up.
Very
and it turns into the ribbing, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, seriously cool. Sorry.
So, I did It's okay. I did a Fish Lips Kiss Heel. Ta-da! Fish Lips Kiss Heel. And then this is my second sock that I've started. Second sock. Both my socks are at the same point almost. Look at that. So that's the second sock. Ta-da. And then I have, I'm not going to show this in stash because it's just like one little thing. But it's a Sucre peppermint hot chocolate. There we go. Peppermint hot chocolate. So I think it fits my project nicely. So that's what I'm working on. These are my Christmas socks. I would love to have them done like on Christmas Eve. Would be perfect. So I'm gonna shoot for that.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, I wanted my Halloween socks to be done on Halloween Day, and I think I got close to that. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Feeling confident.
If I get close, I can work on something else. But I like the idea of casting them on and putting them on my feet and doing Christmas Eve stuff.
Finding them off and putting them on your feet.
I said cast off. What did I say?
I thought you said cast on.
Maybe I did. Oh well.
No big deal.
Y'all know what I meant.
No big deal.
So that's my second hoe and whip.
Okay, and my second work in progress for this week is the Miso Shawl.
Ooh, you got the third color
by
in there?
Amber O'Brien, and I am into my third color.
Ooh, let's show the picture since we have it right here.
So here is the pattern. It's called Miso.
Miso.
And it is knit sideways, but it's a long and somewhat shallow shawl, which is a different shape than I've done before. So that's why it appealed to me. So I am knitting this in 5-color gradient by Leading Men Fiber Arts. And and then I'm adding in a color of gold to kind of make it LSU-y. So the gold is Gritty Knits Nom in Goldenrod, but that'll be the next color to come in. So here's the gray section, here is the next purple section, and then the newest color you can see I've done a little bit in that one. And so that's this color right here. And so the next color to come in will be the gold.
Oh, you're doing the gold next?
Yes. And so, I had it turned backwards. So this is where I was last week. And so I've done this much this week.
Could you go?
I didn't get a lot of knitting done this past week. Excuse me. I didn't get a lot of knitting done this past week because we had company. My mom and sister came in town. So I spent time working with them and talking with them, and so I didn't get an awful lot of knitting.
I was going to show the stuff that Nana got me for Christmas, but I forgot it. I'll show it next week.
Okay.
Next week will be our Christmas episode.
Okay, that'll work.
So, whips. I have more whips. Lots of whips.
Now I'm done.
I had to think for a second about what I was doing. Okay, so I have, this is the project I started last week, but I wasn't really far enough to show you. And I'm really not far enough to show you now because I didn't work on it that much. But, I mean, I guess I have.
No, you worked on it more than you had.
Yeah. So this is the Lake Reed pattern by Asita Krebs. Asita? Is that how you would say that?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah. So it's a hat pattern. It's a very heavily cabled hat pattern. And the pattern calls for a tubular cast on, which I did for the first time ever.
So that was new to you.
Yeah.
New technique.
Look at the pooling. Like, you can't really see it in real life, but it's picking up on the camera. That's really cool.
Yeah, you can see it here. Right here.
Yeah, but you can't see it, like, as much.
No, I think you can.
Maybe. Looks cool.
No, I think you can. If you look, are you looking at the monitor? See, you can see it.
No, I see it on there. I don't see it as much in real life.
Okay, I had it mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't matter. So, this is the Lake Reed pattern, and there's my little
tubular cast on.
It's kind of hard to see because the yarn is so dark, but it looks really good. I did screw up a little bit here. I don't know what happened. I don't even know if you can see it. Like, yeah, right here. But whatever, I don't care
Once
that much.
it's on someone's head, no.
Yeah, it'll block out. So this is Madeline Tosh DK Twist. I got this a couple weeks ago during the Black Friday sale. And the color is Boom Slang, which I am assuming is a Harry Potter reference because they use Boom Slang skin in the Polyjuice Potion.
Yeah, it's a blue and green. It's really pretty.
Yeah, so I think it's a snake in the Harry Potter universe.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty simple. I'm putting this in my One Sock Wonder reindeer bag.
I like that bag.
Because it's Christmassy. It's dark green. I probably won't finish it by Christmas. I'm not going to kill myself to worry about it. It's just for me anyway.
I was going to ask, was it for anyone?
No. None of these people want hats for Christmas. I'm going to make hats for myself.
But you do have somebody who wants mitts.
Yes. I have a plan for that.
Good.
So, yeah. My boyfriend's mom was wearing the mitts that I made for his grandmother last Christmas. And she's like, oh, I love these. I've been stealing them. I wish I had a pair. And I'm like, oh, Miss Angela, it's like 2 weeks to Christmas. Like, now is not the time to ask for mitts, but I'll see what I can do. So, that is what's going on. I have one more whip. Should I do that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Ooh. So, this is in my, I love showing my bags. This is in my Knit Run Dig bag. Knit Run Dig on Etsy. And it's little Siamese kitties.
It's baby pearls.
And then there's my Admiral Whiskers and my Lamey Toes buttons. Pin and button. So this is a pattern that I've wanted to start for, I had it in my queue for over almost a year. And I was waiting for the right yarn to come along, and the right yarn came along. So this is the Shallows, I think it's just called Shallows cowl by Blue Peninsula, who's Bonnie something, I can't remember her name, but her brand is Blue Peninsula. And the yarn is the Woolen Rabbit, I think I have the tag.
Look how pretty gray that is.
Yeah, Woolen Rabbit. And the base is Silky Biffle, which is 75 BFL, 25 silk, 330 yards in the Daddy Steel Bucks colorway. So the pattern calls for a fingering weight, but for some reason I had in my head sport weight. So I think I'm going to have enough. I might do one repeat less for the cowl. But But it's a nice thick fabric. I really like it. I think I'm knitting this on 4s. Yeah, 4s. So that's what it looks like so far. It's these repeating, like this little lace repeat in here with the garter ridges.
Now you had to do provisional cast on?
Yes, I did a provisional cast on. And at the end you block it and then you graft it together, which I think is smart. Because whenever I do infinity cowls or like cowls in general, like it's hard to get the bottom to lay flat if you graft it before you block it. So that's what I have so far. And there's my little pink sprinkle donut from Sucre.
I'm a big donut fan, so yay, donuts.
So it's so soft. I wish y'all could feel it. Feel how soft that is.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was feeling it when I was holding it. The silk makes a big difference with the BFLs.
So that's what I've been working on. I've been trying. This is like my reward. I finished finals last week. So it's like my reward for finishing. But again, this isn't something I'm going to try to finish by the end of the year. I've noticed a lot of people like to clear off their needles at the end of the year.
A lot of people like to clear off their needles at the end of the month. While I would like to be able to clear off my needles at the end of the year, I don't think that is likely to happen.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to start a new project next week. Francois Danois released a gorgeous pattern for a shawl. It was a free pattern that a lot of people are working on, and she's doing a cowl. And it started Monday, but because of company, I haven't started it yet. So I'm starting that, and it's going to go through January. So
is that with the Barrett Wool Company?
Yes, that's the yarn. I'll show it. I have the yarn caked up.
We've shown the Barrett Wool before.
Yeah, I just haven't started it, so that's why I haven't shown it today.
You can frame your note from Susan B. Anderson? That's exciting.
So anyway, no, I don't think it's not going to, I'm not worried about finishing it. But I do want to, I hope maybe, I was watching the Grocery Girls, and they were talking about setting, is there goals you have for next year? And I think I'm starting to think of some goals that I want to work on.
Yeah.
I don't think that a goal is going to be, though, clearing my needles at the end of the year or end of the month.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start thinking of some things that I want to work on.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay.
I was watching Candace again, and she showed her box of socks. Because, it's like a year-long knit-along, and it ends at the end of the year. I think that'd be really fun to do. And I think it'd be fun to do, not next week, but the week after, the podcast after, an analysis of what we knit this year.
Oh, yeah. I plan to do that.
Yeah.
I've tried to be pretty consistent about weighing all of my projects to kind of get an idea of how much yarn I've knit this year. And, I started doing it at the beginning of the year because we were doing winter camp.
Yeah.
And so I just kept with it this year. And so I'm kind of curious to see how many yards I knit this year.
Do you use Knit Meter?
I did a long time ago. I don't currently use it, but maybe I should.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Knit Meter is a website. You can get a little widget, like a little box for your Ravelry page. And you go to their website, you make an account, and then every project you complete, you put in how many yards you used or how many meters or how many grams or whatever, and it keeps a tally for you on your project page. They have spinning and crochet too, so you can keep track how many yards did I spin, how many yards did I knit, how many yards did I crochet or whatever.
It's not really that important of
a
number to know, but I just think it's kind of interesting,
It's so streamlined. It takes like 10 seconds to enter in each of your projects.
I had done it once before, but I didn't keep up with weighing my projects at the end. This year, though, I've been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I estimate. If I do a pair of socks, I know it takes about 80 grams.
Yeah.
So,
but no, I've actually, unless I forgot, I have weighed everything to the gram. So mine'll be pretty accurate.
Yeah, that'll be a really full episode whenever we do that. It'll probably be the one after the next episode.
Yeah, well, that one will be a really full one, because then you can see all the stuff that came in for Christmas, because there's some mega yarn that's wrapped.
Yeah, I just bought myself something else last night. Not yarn, but it's a Christmas present from myself. So I'm excited for that to come in.
It's not from Pearl?
Maybe it is from Pearl. I didn't, she might have ordered it.
She didn't whisper in your ear and say, buy this for me, Mom?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's a Clarisonic. It's like one of those skincare brushes, and they're super expensive, and I've wanted one for forever. So I just went ahead and bought one because they had free shipping and 25% off or 30% off or whatever. Oh, sorry, Pearl bought it for me. So, you know how she is on the computer.
She likes to sit on it because it's warm. Yes. Maybe that's how she bought it.
So, yeah, that. We'll probably do that next episode. It'd be fun to open a thread or, like, maybe just in that episode thread and have people tell us their totals.
Yeah.
Like how many yards they knit and what they knit and how many socks and how many hats and all that kind of stuff.
That'll work.
Yeah. So, just me, I guess, have some stuff thrown at us this week. We got some stash.
What was thrown at you, mister?
Okay. So, I actually, I mentioned I was contacted by Barocco, the yarn company, after I had that incident where there was a big length of undyed yarn in one of my skeins. And they were really nice, and they sent me an email, and they said, we'll let you pick out a skein. They didn't make that colorway anymore. So they let me pick out a skein of Barocco socks as a replacement for the defective skein. So I picked this one. It is colorway 1404. And I think there might be more socks for Larry. It's a very manly color, but it's not boring. Which I love.
It's an interesting color.
Yeah, and Larry's not like one of these people who has to knit with black or navy. Like his socks were purple, so I think he'll like the orange. I think it's a navy.
I don't know. This looks purpley to me.
I'm reading that as navy, but it could be purple.
Maybe
yeah, it's true to color. I don't know.
I really like purple.
But it knits up like a gradient kind of with the orange bits. So I'm really excited. I kind of want to knit him a pair of socks right now, but that's not going to happen. So, I was really nice to them. I always appreciate good customer service.
That was nice of them to contact you.
Yeah. So
that's what
cool
you got.
Beans. Look at that. So it's going to sit in my stash for a little bit. Maybe he'll get socks for our anniversary in July. Or maybe for his birthday in September, or maybe for next Christmas. But I have the yarn for it, and that's what matters. So I have just one more stash, I think.
And this is gorgeous.
Yes, I'm so freaking excited about this. So Lush Knit on Instagram, her name is Megan. She, it was right after everyone was doing the Knitters Pay It Forward thing. And so for her to pay it forward, she said, if you make a donation or if you do something nice for someone, comment below and I'll pick 10 people to win a free skein of yarn. And I commented thinking, I can't hurt to enter. And I won, which is amazing because her yarn is super hard to get a hold of. She's one of these people that sells out in minutes. So she sent me this sweet little card with the sparkles on it. Yeah. And she sent me this gorgeous skein. Oh, it's so pretty. It's called Christmas Wrapping. Look at that.
All those colors.
There is a reason why the dyers who sell out so quickly sell out so quickly. Like there is definitely look at that. I'm gonna take the tag off.
That is just absolutely gorgeous.
I love this color. That's like my color. So
so pretty.
the base name is Superstar Sock, and it's an 80/20 merino nylon. So oh my God, look at the speckles on that side.
Yeah, just beautiful.
So my gut is telling me to use it as a Christmas cast on, but I know that as soon as Christmas is going to be over, I'm not really going to want to knit on Christmas stuff anymore. So I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss.
Okay, well, it's not super Christmassy. I mean, it's not like it's all red and green. Mm-hmm. So if I were knitting that, I wouldn't feel like I was still knitting Christmas things.
Yeah. I don't know what pattern to use with it either.
I would wear that year round.
Yeah, well, I wear my Christmas socks year round anyway.
Yeah, so if it's something that feeds your happy, I think that's much more important than, this is Christmassy and now it's Christmas and and it's on its way out. I love that.
I'm leaning towards just casting it on Christmas Eve for my Christmas Eve cast on. But I would like to know if y'all have any opinions, if you think I should save it for next year, if you think I should go ahead and just cast it on, and if you have any pattern recommendations, because I don't usually work with yarn that's variegated.
So pretty.
It's so gorgeous. So let me know if you have any ideas for patterns, or I probably would not do just vanilla.
So you want something with a little bit of texture.
My gut is telling me Hermione's Everyday. What do you think?
Yeah,
Or
great
like
pattern.
a blueberry waffle.
It's a great pattern. Both of them.
I actually find I've been wearing my socks in a box of socks. I've been finding I've been reaching for the Hermione's Everyday. Probably in the I have another sock that's sort of textured like a blueberry waffle. I've been reaching for those the most. I don't know why.
Well, then maybe make more of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I want to do another blueberry waffle at some point, but I don't know what yarn it's going to be in. So, that's all we have for stash.
I think that's it.
But not next week, but the week after, we're going to have a mega stash
Yeah, it's going to be
episode.
a bit much. So, for Lanyap,
oh yes,
you watched a new podcast.
I
this
did.
week.
I watched this podcast called Meanwhile at the Castle, and I believe the ladies are Emily and Deborah. I think they're sisters, and I just really liked it. They seemed very organized, and I loved the projects that they showed. They're knitting socks for their mom right now for Christmas, which I think is really sweet. So if you have a minute, go check them out. I think they have less than 10 episodes.
We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, so that was really sweet. I love seeing newer people. Maybe they're not newer. I don't know. We're kind of new. Are we new?
Sure. We're less than a year. Let's call us new.
Anyway, I just thought it was a nice podcast, and they just seemed like they're pleasant to watch.
You enjoyed it.
Yes. So that's all we have for Lanyap. We did make some gingerbread cookies, and I was thinking about trying to compile a video and put it at the beginning of this episode, which might or might not happen. So if you saw a video, that's what we were doing. I'm probably not narrate it, but I'll write down what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
it was the Grocer Girls gingerbread recipe. Yeah. We tried it, and
it was
they were
so
very good.
I was impressed because I was putting the molasses in, and I'm like, this is a lot of molasses. I don't know about how it's going to turn out, but if we trusted the recipe, and they came out really well.
Yeah. They were really, really nice cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I think we rolled them a little thin.
Yeah.
So if we make them again, we'll make them a little bit thicker. I don't usually do rolled cookies. I'm more of a drop cookie person. So I really wasn't up on how thin to roll them, and it didn't say in the recipe. So.
Yeah. It also doesn't say when to add the salt, but I would assume you mix it in with the dry ingredients.
That's what we did.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty.
It was a good recipe.
Sense. Yeah, it was a good recipe. So I have shop news this week. I have. Well, you do the stitch markers, so you're involved in the shop.
Sure.
So I'm trying to think. Okay, the Mini Skein Club signups and the Christmas colors are going to be available until the end of the month, so until December 31st, and then I'm going to end them. The Christmas colorways are going to be gone until next year. The Mini Skein swaps, not swaps, Mini Skein Club, I'm going to close the listing for the 3-month subscription, but I'm going to open a listing for those who just want to buy the February box. But once December ends, you can't buy the January box anymore. So I'll post that on Instagram and on Etsy whenever I do it. And then coming in January, I will have 2 or 3, definitely 2, maybe 3 if I get it done in time, new themed mini skein sets. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet, but I'm very excited for them. And I will also have a secret collaboration with someone in the knitting community. So we've pretty much ironed out on the details, and we're getting everything set up, and we will be opening pre-orders for that sometime in the new year, in January. So stay tuned for my Instagram, if you want to see any sneak peeks that we release. And I'll definitely show you on the podcast once the pre-orders are up. So that is what we have for this week. Is that it we have?
I think that's everything.
So until next week, we thank you for watching, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.